Hello, welcome. Today is July 30th, 2021. My name is E. Giuliano, and you are watching Komodo July Project Update. Thanks for being here. We have a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to hear we'll hear some fire updates from business development and marketing and about some developments. We're going to hear about SmartFi. Got a bunch of pre-recordings for you today. SmartFi collaborating with Komodo Technology and the Komodo team. We're going to hear Delton sharing some news updates, monthly news for Komodo. And we are also going to hear about the AtomicDEX update 0.5 release. Yes, we're going to hear a pre-recording from Tony L. And then we're going to hear about a couple of events, I should say, coming up in the beginning and middle of August. That's the Block Bar and the SmartFi live panel discussion, respectively. Now, without further ado, I would like to share with you, we have today Charles, PTYX, we've got Audo and Articush, we've got Jay Charming and Delton, maybe even some more. We've got a bunch of pre-recordings for you. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and watch along. The first thing we'll do is send out those fire updates. So yeah, we're gonna get right up into it just now. So we're waiting for the screen to change over. And from there, we're just gonna get ourselves into the first fire update. We should be hearing from Charles.
Hi everyone, this is Charles from the business development team at Komodo, and I'm just here to bring you some short updates on the business side. We're actually very excited to be able to talk about something we've been working on for over a year, and that is the SmartFi platform. The SmartFi platform is a service that is very similar to Celsius. They're somewhat of a crypto loan platform that offer interest rates on cryptocurrency deposits. They offer cryptocurrency loans to huge partners, and we've been working on their technology for over a year. They're leveraging the smart asset chain technology, and they're also leveraging the AtomicDEX technology into their platform. So be on the lookout for that. We're very excited about it. Besides that, we have been very busy reaching out to different projects to list on the AtomicDEX, so you should expect more listings. One cool development that I have seen is the beginning of the liquidity provider bot that, in my opinion, is one of the most important pieces for the AtomicDEX because it will let anybody provide liquidity. And if we have liquidity on the AtomicDEX, then we will not need any other exchanges. So for me, one of the key pieces is increasing the liquidity on the DEX and making it easy for any project to basically provide their own liquidity on the AtomicDEX network. Other developments, I have been in meetings these past weeks to try to negotiate a partnership with a crypto bank platform. Basically, we're exploring the different options to either provide cryptocurrency debit cards directly on the AtomicDEX app, or at least to leverage it for our partners. So basically, if somebody launches their own branded DEX, they would have the option to actually launch their own crypto bank solutions, such as debit card, IBAN accounts, bank accounts, things like this. So that's something else that I have been working on this past week, and that would be pretty much it for me. That's taken up most of my time. But if you have any questions for us in regards to the business side, or if you have any business inquiries, feel free to reach out to charles@komodoplatform.com, or you can go to our website, and in the business page, you can fill out a web form, and one of our guys will be able to reach out to you. So thank you again, and have a great day.
Hello, it's the Audo, the CMO. So our marketing team has been very busy this month in planning the second half of the year, which included the co-marketing with Toggle as well as with SmartFi, and that will continue for the weeks and months to come. Another aspect we focused on is the conference that we announced. So we are going to be doing that in November 8th and 9th, and it will be a distributed event. We will have locations in Miami as well as in Netherlands, and we also will encourage everyone in the community to make your own local meetup, and as a result all of this will be tied by the live stream, and we organize like a global distributed event. So we are quite excited about that. It will be a new type of event, so be sure to help us out there if you want to get involved. And then the other aspect our team is very focused on is the AtomicDEX marketing and how do we onboard new users and downloads. Now that the new release is upon us, and with that more liquidity and so forth, we are ready to become more aggressive marketing. And with that in mind, over the past months, our team has been doing a lot of research on referral campaigns and programs, and we are looking to launch some of those in the coming months. So in general, if you want to get involved, help us out with the Komodo marketing, get more involved, then reach out to me or Artekus and let's talk about it. So with that, I will leave you for this month. Let's look forward to the next update next month. Ciao.
Okay, well then, there you go. A couple of updates from Komodo BizDev and marketing. And next, that's right, you see it there on the screen. Coming up is something some of you might have been waiting for, holding your breath, really. This is very exciting news. Well, it's the SmartFi collaboration here with Komodo Technology. So we're going to hear from Aaron Tilton and the CEO, as well as our very own Polycrypto blog, Jason Brown. All right, play that clip, please.
So my name is Aaron Tilton. I'm the president and CEO of SmartFi, and our project essentially is a open lending platform with cryptocurrency monetary policy. So one of the reasons that we selected Komodo as a technology partner, very specifically, they had the interoperability and the atomic swaps, and they had the most experience that we had seen and the most complete process that mimicked a transaction that we already used in our derivatives trading that created these hedges for our loans. I know that's a little technical, but there is a very specific reason that we selected Komodo, and was for their atomic swap technology. The other reason we selected Komodo is that after we began our discussions, and we've spent 3 years talking to Komodo, researching them, researching the technology, and then we're 1 year into the development. But the other reason was they had an ideology that we agreed with and we believed was at the core of who we were as SmartFi. And we saw that same ideology in Komodo, in that free markets are paramount, and the selection and use of technology, it has to align with the concept that as an individual, you should be empowered to utilize your assets the way that you deem fit under your control. SmartFi is a project that we conceived. It was an answer to a couple of different problems that we noticed. One of which was the unnecessary bear market volatility killed user adoption. Every time that crypto would get a run up and everybody would get excited about it, it was followed by a bear market that everybody got real unexcited about it, right? People lost money, and it's just this cyclical process. And our experience with the oil and gas business and energy business led us to understand that there are answers for this unnecessary volatility, but there's specific strategies that involve a hedge. In the financial world, a hedge is something that provides safety. And that's what we noticed in the source code for all existing cryptocurrencies, is there is no on-chain hedge available that allows for somebody to get to safety when the bear markets start. Cryptocurrency networks functioned a lot like a capacity market for an electric network. So I won't bore you with all the details, but in the energy space and generation in particular, in the East Coast part of the United States, they have something called centralized capacity markets. And also in just electricity in general, you have a network that has to achieve balance real time and deliver a commodity. And we recognized that that looked a lot like a hash rate on the network. So we structured our process and what we're doing as a company around cryptocurrencies and the structure of the source code. One of the things that we really appreciated and made a big difference in our selection of the technology for our DEX, one is that Komodo actually had a functioning structure around what we would consider true atomic swaps. They were not synthetic structures, but they were real interoperable transactions that allowed the individual to continually keep control of their assets and never have an intermediary under that structure, and that the peer-to-peer network enabled that, but it didn't. It wasn't the actual atomic swap completion itself, that took place on chain. So that was very important to us. It was a true atomic swap. But we see decentralization and DeFi as the future of derivative settlements. The derivative markets are about 15 times bigger than the currency markets. Most of the impact from economic GDP is actually driven by what happens in the derivatives market, not in the currency market. So we see that the DeFi space as the natural evolution into derivatives. So as we've spent the last 3 years both doing due diligence on Komodo, watching what they did, then the last year executing on the project, obviously we think that we wouldn't have spent that amount of time implementing their dev team into our processes and our technology. It's a lot of a commitment, and the structure of the two teams really matches up well. That was super important to us. We had interviewed several different blockchain projects, developers, and they always kept saying, well, why don't you use this technology, or why don't you use this, or just do it this way, and blah. They never really, it was either they didn't understand it, or they didn't understand the ideology behind what we were doing, or frankly, they were just not quick enough to grasp what can be a complex construct. But the developers at Komodo did, and that's what sold us right there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jason Brown, also known as PolyCryptoBlog, head of business development with Komodo platform. And I'm currently helping the liaison between the Komodo community and its developers and the SmartFi platform. So personally, the reason why I was so keen on getting SmartFi and Komodo to work together is that I saw that SmartFi had a pretty unique idea for a stablecoin that could actually be used in the real world. So SmartFi is a lending, decentralized and centralized lending platform that will be offering to the masses lending, borrowing, trading, utilizing a bunch of Komodo technology. Why people should care about the SmartFi project? It's bringing the world's first mineable stablecoin to the crypto ecosystem, and it is creating what I refer to as an electrodollar, which ties the consumption of electricity and derivative products from that, such as silicon chip derivatives, into a stable currency that is interoperable with the rest of the crypto ecosystem. So the relationship between the Komodo community and SmartFi is a long-term relationship, and not just like a one-off type of partnership. As I previously mentioned, we spent 3 years discussing this project, and I spent currently a year building it out, and we have at least another, I would say, 3 to 5 years of known work to be done, and that doesn't include anything else that pops up along the way. The reason why we're investing such a large amount of energy and time into this is because like a lot of our technology goals are the same. They have a great interest in our atomic swap technology and to develop that out into different types of atomic swap variations. Eli, 5 on why our SmartFi relationship is beneficial for KMD is that one, we will get more development funds to build out our tech in ways that we didn't see before. 2, we'll get liquidity and usage out of the AtomicDEX protocol. And 3, that we will be able to start pushing our products into the real world and get integrated into SmartFi services. Many people might be wondering also what's the benefit for Komodo holders and long-term community members. So the SmartFi will give us access to a lot of services that we previously did not have access to, such as a US-based exchange, US-based fiat purchasing. Those 2 things have been kind of stumbling blocks over the past couple of years, just due to the wonky rules the US has. There will, through SmartFi's, 2 dual token system, both those will be listed on the AtomicDEX, and no doubt liquidity will be going through the DEX from their ecosystem. And as well, I had mentioned previously that we've been working with them for quite some time now, and this arrangement that we have will help fund business, not just business development, but code development for years to come. And long-term holders should be kind of excited about this because unlike most other cryptocurrencies, a lot of our development funds, actually very little, our development funds come from our war chest, so to speak. We actually generate enough revenues to be able to kind of be self-sustaining and actually grow. We're expanding our team.
Wow, I am impressed. That was a great set of clips there from Aaron Tilton and from Jason Brown. Ooh, well, there you have it. Some more details about the tech partnership as spoken by Aaron Tilton, and some follow-up there from Jason Brown about it. And to me, that sounds like validation for all of those of you who just knew how strong and special and good the Komodo platform, technology, and team are. Well, there is some validation for all of us. But that's just the first step. And there's, like you heard, there's a lot more to come. So strap in and enjoy the ride. And welcome SmartFi. Awesome. Okay, everyone. Well, we're going to move on now to hear from Delton about the news for the month of July. Here, monthly news from Delton. We've got some pre-recording.
Yeah, so in addition to the SmartFi news, there's a lot of things we want to highlight that have gone on with Komodo project throughout July. The first thing we have is the introduction of new KMD use cases. So this is a blog post we published earlier in July. So we talk about how KMD is the native currency of the Komodo ecosystem and just what all that means. Of course, Komodo is known for DPoW and 51% attack security, also known for smart chain technology. But now we're looking at how KMD can be used with AtomicDEX and the Komodo AtomicDEX API. So we have 4 new use cases for KMD. The first is a multi-chain coin. So the developers have already made some progress on this, just integrating KMD into new networks. One that was happened earlier this year was KMD launching on Binance Smart Chain. So we can expect to see KMD on more chains in the future. The next 3 use cases here all revolve around the utility within AtomicDEX and the Komodo AtomicDEX API. So this kind of applies to not only AtomicDEX, but also DogeDEX, GleekDEX, and any other branded DEXs built on top of the Komodo AtomicDEX API. So the first one here is discounted fees. So basically, you can pay lower fees when trading on AtomicDEX with KMD. So if you want to trade BTC for ETH, for instance, you don't have to use one of those necessarily to pay the trading fee on the platform, but you can use KMD instead. Another one is buybacks. So this is purchases of KMD on the open market with fees generated from users trading on AtomicDEX. So more people that are trading, the more buybacks that are able to be made. And finally, we have liquidity incentives. So basically, we can build solutions that reward AtomicDEX liquidity providers. And you can see this summarized here on this graphic. And next up, we talk about the Komodo AtomicDEX API. And be sure to read this because it talks about all the ways in which this API can be utilized and just all the different applications that can be built with it. And we also have a brief summary of the KMD adoption strategy, looking at 5-point strategy for KMD adoption, technology, use cases, business, marketing, and community. So this is really a 360 degrees approach, looking at all angles of how we can drive KMD adoption. And finally, we have a summary of project sustainability. So looking at how Komodo funding is and just how Komodo is ready for the long haul and to continue developing use cases and driving demand for KMD. Also in July, we had a big listing announcement. So KMD got listed on KuCoin. So so as of July 15th, KMD is now available on KuCoin. The trading pairs are KMD USDT and KMD BTC. So we can quickly look at those. So here's the chart for KMD BTC, and here's the chart for KMD USDT. So be sure to look at those markets always to have good to have new listings for KMD. Next up, we have Komodo core technology upgrades. So Decker from the developer team has been working hard to add new upgrades to the Komodo core technology. So the first one is automated testnet environment for DPoW notarization. So basically this means like anyone who wants to test out how DPoW works can do so. And it's really simple to do. It takes like 5 minutes to set up. There's no longer a need for renting, physical host or virtual machines. And all the requirements are here, and there's a link to GitHub. And next up, another implementation from Decker is the internal Stratum implementation for Komodo Daemon. So basically this makes it easier to solo mine KMD or any other coins running on Komodo smart chains with no difficulties. And this upgrade is being applied to the Komodo Ocean, also known as Komodo QT codebase. And everyone is welcome to try it out and see how it works and leave your feedback. The next big news we had from July was the Komodo and Tilton partnership. So basically this is going to bring a full-featured NFT platform to the Komodo ecosystem. We have a brief explanation of what is Tilton and details about the partnership. So this is going to be highlighted by an initial DEX offering IDO on AtomicDEX. And this post outlines the benefits for not only Tilton platform, but also Komodo platform and anyone building on Komodo technology. So as you can see here, Tilton is working on a lot of things. So the first is a coin wallet. Then we have a token explorer, DEX, token wallet, NFT marketplace, token creation tool. So yeah, it's very cool looking roadmap. A lot of things going on with Tilton. And at the bottom of this post, we have an interview with E. Giuliano and Nutella Licca. So be sure to check that out and yeah, just get like a better understanding of what all Tilton is working on. And the final thing we want to highlight for July is basically this CMC Alexandria glossary term. So this is authored by Komodo CTO Karan Stedelman. And this is a very big deal because a lot of different projects in the space now are getting their own glossary terms here on CoinMarketCap. And we obviously want to have Komodo here. We want to have people interested in Komodo, learning about all the different terminology. So here we have a definition about what is AtomicDEX. And we're actually working with our PR agency at the moment to add additional terms. We're going to have an update for atomic swaps and also some like meme terms as well, like what is diamond hands. And yeah, we're just like going to have a lot of terms related to Komodo, but also just like blockchain technology, memes, various cool things. And yeah, this is going to give us a lot of good equity in the space, because we feel like this is like real estate, right? So the more terms that we can have associated with Komodo, the better. And also another big thing with these terms is that we do have a backlink to the Komodo platform website. So this will also help us in building our SEO. And yeah, we're just like really excited about this and all the things coming up for Komodo. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the highlights from this month. We do have a lot of things going on with the other ecosystem projects as well. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to subscribe to the Komodo newsletter. We send out a monthly newsletter that's going to include like a recap of everything we discussed here in the monthly update, and also other cool things as well. So yeah, be sure to subscribe, and thank you.
And maybe a little bit of lag. Just waiting for the screen to prompt me here, but should be done by now. So I'm just going to remind you all, just check out that tokel.io. Check out smartfi.com if you haven't already. And yeah, we're just waiting for the screen to change over here. On this side, we got a bit of lag. However, coming up next, anyway, we are going to hear about AtomicDEX. We're going to preview AtomicDEX 0.5 release coming up. Tony L is going to share with us in a pre-recording about that. So we're going to get over to that.
Hello, my name is Tony, and in this short video I want to demonstrate to you what awaits you in the upcoming 0.5.0 AtomicDEX update. The main thing we've added in this update is a simple trading view. The goal of this feature is to simplify the trading for takers. So let's go ahead and just quickly show you how it looks like. Alright, so as you can see here, we reworked the swap page, added the trading mode separation. There is a simple trading view now. So simple trading view works as follows. It's kind of a wizard where you can select the coin which you want to sell and coin which you want to buy. So let's go ahead and try to sell some KMD. In my case, let's say I want to sell 10 KMD. And here I can see now the coins with best orders. So in my case, I'm selling like a $7.20 worth of the KMD, and here I can see orders of other coins in fiat evaluation, which I can trade with. Let's say I want to trade into Digibyte. Let's confirm the order details. I can check the fees here also, and let's start the swap. Alright, let's switch to the desktop wallet features review now. So at first, we reworked the face of the application, the main page. As you can see, there's a reworked wallet management, so we can now delete wallet right from the main page. And there is a reworked wallet creation process as well. It's redesigned, and it's now easier to select the words on the seed confirm. So a little bit improved the UX on this side, and let's log in. Alright, so as you can see, the dashboard looks like a little bit different now. There is a pie diagram showing your portfolio overview. And let's move to the DEX. So in the DEX part, without its same concept as I've shown before on mobile, a simple trading view where you can act only as a taker and find most profitable trades quite easily. Let's say you want to sell 1 KMD, or you can select another coin from your balance. I will use KMD in this demonstration. Let's pick up some order. Here you can see the list of orders on market sorted by comparison with centralized exchange price. Let's try to trade to this coin. You see, it's automatically filled up with prices info. It's the rate here, the fees you will pay in swap. Here you can regulate swap details. Let's confirm that. And swap started. So now on this view, it will be easier for the new users, hopefully, because there's persist abstraction from the order books layer, and system just finding the best available orders. Also now you don't need to parse through the order books. You can just see the overview for the asset you want to sell. That's it. And there are multiple other enhancements, as you can see. Rework it navigation a little bit, and there are address book enhancements as well. So yeah, just try it on your own. Yeah. And as I've said before, your feedback is highly valuable and highly appreciated. See you in our Discord. Feel free to leave any questions, inquiries, pitch requests. We're always glad to help. Yeah. See you in AtomicDEX. Thank you for watching this.
All right. Thank you, Tony, for that preview, mobile and desktop version. And now we're going to be joined by Artikush, Jay Charming, and Charles, PTYX. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Not bad, not bad. Thank you for having us here. I think we're having
Well,
quite
thank you for-
an amount
yeah.
of information coming this month.
That's true. What was your favorite piece of information to hear?
Well, I think that for myself as a community manager, it was very nice to see that we have over 10 new community contributors, and we're establishing a new channel in our Komodo server on Discord, which is called Rioters Room, where we're it was actually driven by community contributors to make that room. And big shout out to Daybreak, Nev, and Eureka John, and MJ42, who just recently joined our community and is ambitious to learn and establish themselves in this new kind of world that we're trying to establish around the ecosystem that we're having here. We're looking also into a community workshop in September, which will be also kind of focused on creative content and a driven idea by the community contributors. They have this character, Atomic Bob, which we're gonna try to establish as someone who can represent information very easily for newcomers about security, about blockchain, about paper wallets, about something that they have to be aware when they're coming into a blockchain. And besides that, I want to call out every social media guru who would like to be a representative of Komodo in their own native language and establish themselves as an autonomous content creator, translating, curating, moderating content in their own native language at the end of the month when we have this kind of stream where most of the information is being produced and shown to the communities. I think it's very important. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us is Wednesdays, community hangouts, 12 p.m. UTC, also as Thursdays, just an hour before town hall, 3 p.m. UTC. Come hang out with us, make that contributors call, and establish, empower, and educate yourself for your future. I think it's a big message for everyone to seek for.
Beautiful. Yes, indeed. That was a nice, thorough summary. And so it's nice to hear from you, Articush, about that. Alrighty. So what about you, Jay Charming? We haven't heard from you today yet. What did you like hearing about in this Komodo July update?
Man, I was absolutely fond of the 050 update that Tony brought in and put in there. That was really cool to see. The SmartFi partnership is absolutely killer. Well, the SmartFi collaboration is absolutely killer. That's SmartFi is going to be something that we get to talk about more. This is, for me, this is kind of the drop of the NDAs. So there's more communication and conversation that can now happen about this over the second half of the year. We've got a live panel happening in August with SmartFi, and then we've got Twitter Spaces to follow up with that, and a couple of like little things littered around. That's you know, that and the fire updates and everything else. It's all really good information, but those are like key highlights for me for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay Charming. And Charles, PTYX, thanks so much for being here. You already put together a pre-recording, but you're here live with us, so we really appreciate that. Was there anything that stuck out for you? Was it the SmartFi in news or update there, or was it something else? What did you like hearing about today?
Yeah, I think for me, the most significant thing, obviously, SmartFi is one of them. Another is the 0.5 update for the AtomicDEX. I think it's it should be stressed that this release means that the DEX is finally coming out of beta, and it's coming out into what we call a stable release. So it's a major step, because when we say beta, we usually warn the user to only use the funds, with very minimum funds, because of the high risk of there being issues with the app. So the AtomicDEX moving out of beta into a production release means that it's ready to be given full use. That, along with the liquidity that SmartFi is going to bring on the DEX, and all of the other tools like the Market Maker bot tool that I mentioned in my update, are pretty huge for the AtomicDEX and Komodo.
Yeah, nice. Thanks. I'm glad you mentioned that Market Maker bot, because I have seen some chatting just briefly about it in the Discord. And anybody who's not already in the Discord, check out Komodo Discord. There's so much going on in there. But yeah, so I'm glad to hear that you're excited about this Market Maker bot. I know that you've been really working hard to get liquidity to AtomicDEX, so we all appreciate that. That definitely, that's huge work. And yeah, so it's nice to see that, and you're not the only one. There are other people working on all of this liquidity provision here. So good stuff. So thanks for sharing that with us, and we look forward to more that's going to come inevitably, as we heard from Jason and from SmartFi CEO Aaron Tilton also. But basically, it's a long-term thing, and Komodo has the gas to keep going. So here we go, right? Thank you, Charles, so much for joining us live. We really appreciate that little extra touch of care and concern for the Komodo platform community. Alrighty. Apart from that, well, hey, Jay Charming, you're back. Do you have some other news to share with us, updates to share with us? You want to tell us about the two events coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the live panel discussion happening on August 17th at 15:30 UTC. That's 3:30 p.m. UTC, and that's going to be a great thing. We've got the Block Bar also happening, which is a get-together and conference happening in August as well. These are two big things. We've got Twitter Spaces occurring as well during the next month. All this is going to be coming out on the Blockbar is the August 6th at 1400 UTC. By the way, we've got all this stuff coming out.
That one's live, isn't it? That one's live in Netherlands. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah, it should be really
it's
great.
a live in person. Okay, and then the live panel discussion is a virtual event, correct?
That is correct. It's a virtual event for that one. We've got the scheduler that will be coming out here at the beginning of August. So if anybody's listening in and they want to know more about these dates and these events happening in August surrounding Komodo and things that we have coming, be sure to sign up for the newsletter. You can go to our website and subscribe to the newsletter, and you'll have that that August schedule dropped right into your emails. You'll also be able to view it on Twitter and our social media channels. And you'll also be able to hear from our community, who is like it's wonderful powerhouse that is great at sharing information and getting everybody involved. I just want to be sure to give a shout out there to them.
Right on. Yes, indeed. Okay. Thank you very much, Jay Charming. Any final things before you give us the goodbye wave? I guess not. All righty. There goes the screen. Okay, Jay Charming, thanks as always. It's always great to hear from you.
Thank you, Giuliano. And thank you to all our community out there following along with us.
Yes, indeed. That's for true. Thank you to all the community who care so much. You watching, you're sharing about Komodo, telling everybody you know with all the passion that you have for Komodo. And we all appreciate everybody's contributions, no matter the size or the weight of that contribution. It all adds up, and we are collectively the community that we call a Komodo community. All righty. Well, you heard about that. August 17, the SmartFi event. All right. That's going to be it. Once again, check out the tokel.io. Check out Komodo platform website. Come into the Discord and just keep enjoying yourself.